Welcome to Coastal Cooking with your host, Carmela Campbell. Coastal Cooking features delicious recipes and cooking tips from the Gulf Coast's finest chefs and restaurants. Watch as popular local chefs prepare their special dishes with natural gas. Coastal Cooking is brought to you by Pensacola Energy, provider of clean, efficient, natural gas.
My guest today is Jason Hughes, the chef de cuisine at the Fish House.
Hello, hello.
We are so happy to have you, and of course we're going to do some special seafood dishes.
We are.
And we've got a special dessert also. But these two of our seafood recipes you'll be doing at the Seafood Festival.
Yep, the first two we're going to do. The first one is this Bourbon-Brown butter oyster. We're going to grill them up at the Seafood Festival. We're going to show you how we can bake them today.
Okay.
Really good. It's like a savory sauce, a little bourbon, cilantro and country ham. It's kind of got a smoky, salty, really cool dish. Then we'll do a seared tuna dish after that. So.
Sounds great. We're going to get started with the oysters.
Yeah, we already got actually some oysters in the oven, but we are going to show you how we like to shuck them. We'll start off with our butter. It's going to go over medium heat.
And that's about a quarter pound?
About a quarter pound, yeah. Like a stick, if you bought it from the grocery store, you need a half a cup pretty much. It's really enough for about 12, but
okay.
We're going to do about 6 today. I'll just
All
shuck
right.
a few extras. So while that's going, you want to just get that going over medium heat, let it go. It's going to bubble and hiss and pop, and you're
make a lot of noise.
Letting it, yeah, you're going to let it settle and separate, and the milk solids on the bottom are going to start to brown, and just kind of get that nutty brown butter flavor that we're looking for. So while we do that, we'll practice shucking oysters.
You got an oyster shucking knife,
yeah.
right?
So I can hold on to it. Yeah, these are pretty standard. It's what we use in the restaurant. There's a lot of different schools of thought on these. I've seen people that sharpen them to where they're like a knife. I think you're crazy because you're going to stab yourself, but whatever. I actually, a friend of mine who used to be my sous chef, when he left the restaurant we were working at together, he gave me an oyster knife that was an old railroad spike that they had flattened out into. I don't think you can really use it, but it looks cool. I still have it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
But then there's like...
There's a popping butter.
Stuff happens. There's, so they call them clam knives that are a little bit shorter, more like a broad kind of thing, but I've seen people who like to use those too. This is my favorite. It's like a 3-inch blade. They do make them longer. I kind of find that it's easier to break when they're longer.
You just get what's comfortable for you, right?
Yeah,
if you're going to be shucking oysters.
Many, many oysters.
Now, you don't wear gloves?
This guy. I mean, no, I use a towel.
And
some people go barehanded.
You've done a few of these in your time, haven't you?
And I don't mind the gloves. Some people kind of refuse to use them, but I don't like doing it barehanded. It hurts. I'm not gonna lie to you. But yeah, I usually we grab a towel, whatever's handy. You always
Where do we
kind
start?
of we call it the hinge right here. There's a top shell and a bottom shell. You can always kind of tell the difference. This one's a little gnarly because it's got another small little shell on it. It's probably going to break off when we start shucking it, but you want to basically force the tip of the knife into that little hinge, and then you're going to kind of use like a wriggle, like a rocking motion. You're not prying. You're not trying to slam the knife through the oyster. If you get the tip in the hinge and just pry it open like that, hopefully you don't send shell flying everywhere. You don't stab yourself in the hand. You don't hurt anybody, and you don't
takes a lot of
stab
practice,
through the oyster.
probably.
Yeah, it's just
Get the momentum
it's just
going.
repetition. See, that one came right up. Sometimes you get easy, and they're just kind to you, and they just open right up. Always stop at every stage and kind of wipe that knife off so you don't get any of that grime in the oyster. You don't want sandy, gritty oysters. You don't want shell fragments.
Oh, look at that.
I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little tendon that connects the top shell to the oyster, and then there's the exact same thing on the bottom. So after you shuck it, you make sure you don't have any shell in there. You take your knife and just kind of slide it across the bottom and sever that little tendon.
Okay.
So that way it'll just slide right off. You're eating it with some crackers and Crystal hot sauce.
And don't throw away that oyster liquor in there.
Licorice, this good stuff. Those ones we're baking right now, or if you grill them, that helps keep it moist. It kind of steams up in that liquor and just infuses all that flavor into the oyster. I don't know which writer it was that said tasting an oyster was like kissing the sea on the lips, but that's the idea. You don't want to rinse all that stuff off. That's what you're going for. So this one too, my other favorite thing about oysters, by the way, is who was the first person to eat a raw oyster?
I don't know. Who was it?
Someone who was very hungry. It's my favorite.
It's like where does an elephant sit? Anywhere he wants to.
Those things you just take a flyer on it and find out it's actually really good. So you just keep prying them open. You don't want to chop the oyster up. You want to get that bottom tendon severed. Set these guys off to
And
the
now,
side.
do you throw those away, or do you keep them for anything?
Depends on what you're doing. Today,
Okay.
the ones we have in the oven right now, I do have the top shell on them just to help kind of protect them from the direct heat of the oven because I don't have a butter or anything on there. If you're doing them, raw in a half shell, yeah, you toss them. They use them to make like artificial reefs and stuff. We actually have a guy that every once in a while comes to the fish house and picks up all of our top shells because he dumps them in the water, and it's good for the ecosystem. Some people use them for their parking lots and whatever. Try to recycle as much as you can.
Recycle.
Always.
Look at these oysters, are gorgeous.
And these are Gulf Coast oysters. These come from Louisiana. We are getting now a Pensacola Bay oyster. There's a guy that's farming oysters. They're actually off-bottom oysters, so they're raised beds out in Pensacola Bay. If you drive down Scenic 90, you can actually see them out there. And they're really, really good. Very clean because they're not on the bottom. They're great oysters. He's just getting started, so he doesn't have a million of them yet, but hopefully that takes off, and we'll be serving a lot of those. So we go to this kind of nice dark brown. You don't want to get too dark. You won't burn it, but you make something different called burnt noir, and it's not really appropriate for what we're doing. We'll do our bourbon. It's a good quality bourbon. The rule of thumb is if you wouldn't drink it, don't cook with it, right? It's going to kind of bubble up like crazy, so take a step back. But you're the boss, you're in charge, it's your kitchen, don't worry about it. And we'll put a little pinch of salt in there too. Let that kind of melt. Dissolve in here.
It sure smells good.
Yes, it's wonderful.
Bourbon and butter.
And you can turn the heat off if you know which way to turn it.
There you go.
And then take it right off the heat. That is ready. Waiting for our oysters, which are over here in the oven ready to go. Yeah, I believe so. So we put these on a little bit of rock salt in the oven, really just to keep them from sliding around too much. And we're going to serve them on that also.
Look how pretty that is.
Where's a good place?
How about right here?
Yeah, it should be fine. So they're going to be hot. Be careful with them, but just pull that top shell off and see where you're at. Nice and cooked.
Look at that.
And all that juice.
I love your presentation.
Oh, yeah.
The rock salt with the peppercorns, it just makes it very festive.
So we got our oysters. So take those out, set them down. We'll go ahead and put a little bit of our Bourbon-Brown butter on there. Just give it a little bit of a stir. Make sure you got all your brown solids in there. And a little bit on every oyster, just ladle it right over.
Oh, that looks so good.
You never have too much of this stuff. So some on for now. We might put a little bit more on in a minute. We'll get our garnishes going. So we got fresh cilantro. Pick the leaves off the stems already, but make sure you do that. You don't want a bunch of stems in there. I'm just going to kind of chop it up. Doesn't have to be too fine, but just so we can get a little bit
And
on
country
every oyster.
Country
ham, yeah.
ham. That's unusual.
Actually already fried that up, but you want to take that and fry it off in a little pan or something. Just get it kind of crispy. And yeah, I just chopped it up really, really fine. Put that on there. I like it. It gives it a little kind of salty. The oysters are already pretty salty, but
This
a little
ham
spike.
with the cilantro is going to be interesting too.
We're also going to do some lime zest, which I'll grab one of these and zest them real quick. I like to use like a zester on these, not necessarily a microplane grater, so you get kind of bigger pieces and just put a few on there.
Oh, yeah.
But you'll just take those and kind of scrape it off a little bit. Don't need too much.
Gosh, this
Pretty strong.
adds so much flavor, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite smells too. So we'll just do a little bit of this and save your lime for juice for later, for some other purpose. And so we're going to take our cilantro on every oyster, just a little bit. Then we'll do a little bit of country ham on there.
Could you use bacon?
You could.
You didn't
I've
want to
done it
use
with
ham?
prosciutto, bacon,
Just whatever you
different things, yeah.
want to try.
And then a little bit of zest on each one.
Jason, that's going to be a beautiful dish.
Pretty plate. And then you want to just
Lovely.
take them carefully because it'll still be pretty hot from the oven. And they're full of really hot butter too.
Yes.
Place them on your bed of rock salt to serve them. And That's it.
Beautiful. Look at that.
Bourbon-Brown butter oysters.
I love it. What a lovely presentation and array of ingredients. You know, it's going to be interesting to taste. I can't wait. We've got another seafood dish coming up, and tell everyone what that is.
That one's going to be a seared tuna steak, and it's got a sauce. We call it red chili pineapple sauce on it. It's kind of like a sweet and sour sauce with some fresh pineapple in it.
Sounds so good. Well, don't go away. We'll be right back with that dish.
Cooking with natural gas is more controlled than using an electric range. But more importantly, they're less expensive to operate. Don't get burned with electric. Learn more at PensacolaEnergy.com.
Natural gas is the clean, reliable, earth-friendly energy choice. Here's what Pensacola Energy customers have to say about using natural gas.
Natural gas has been great. The difference between cooking on electric and natural gas has been amazing. I really didn't think I would notice that much of a difference, but I really have.
Go blue and save green with natural gas from Pensacola Energy. Visit PensacolaEnergy.com and make the switch today.
Heat pumps don't pump much heat. In fact, heat from an efficient natural gas heater can be 30% warmer, and you can get up to an $800 rebate when you install one. Warming up to natural gas yet? Learn more at PensacolaEnergy.com.
Natural gas homes are in demand. Here's what home builders have to say.
One of the major roles of us using the tankless water heaters and gas cooktops is because of trying to utilize energy efficient features in our homes. Without reservation, our owners that have moved into a home where we use this natural gas have always been happy that we've used this and very satisfied with the product.
Natural gas from Pensacola Energy, the clean, reliable, earth-friendly choice.
Our yellowfin tuna is ready to cook.
It is. Very good tuna. This is fresh from Maria's Seafood here in town, actually. It's all we buy our tuna from. So.
We've got a great sauce, Jason, to go on this, and it's, what is it called? The red...
It's red chili pineapple sauce.
Red chili pineapple.
Kind of like a sweet chili sauce or a sweet and sour sauce with some pineapple in it. A lot of ingredients. We'll go over them all. We put them in the pan. We'll sear our tuna steaks up, and it's actually, once you get everything together, it's a really quick, simple dish.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and start throwing stuff in there.
Yeah, a lot of good flavors here.
The base of the whole thing is ketchup. So we go with 3 cups of ketchup in here. We've already got our pan warm, by the way. We'll put our ketchup in. Get as much of that out of there as we can.
Is this going to be a hot sauce?
I usually serve it like room temperature. It's okay to serve it hot.
I mean, hot tasting?
Spicy.
Spicy, a little bit?
Yeah,
okay.
a little bit. Not too crazy.
When you say red chili, it just kind of...
It's got actually 3 different kinds of chili sauce in it. That's where most of your heat's going to come from. So we got our ketchup in there now. We'll turn our heat up to about medium. We need this to come up to a simmer because we are going to thicken it with a cornstarch slurry. I already hear it bubbling, so let me get this whisk going here. So I'm going to turn this tuna pan on too. So we are going to go in now with this sweet chili sauce. This is Mayploy brand. Doesn't really matter what brand you use. There's a lot of different ones out there. I happen to be really partial to Mayploy. I think it's really good. We're going to go with sambal, which is like a garlic chili sauce. This is a little bit spicier. We don't use too much of it. Then we also have sriracha, which most everybody knows sriracha now. It's also a garlic chili sauce, kind of a funky, spicy flavor. This right here is palm sugar. This is like an ounce, 28 grams, really 30 grams. You need a little bit of liquid to melt palm sugar in, so this right here will be fine. By the time this comes up to a simmer, that stuff will all be melted and mixed in really nice. We have got pineapple juice right here. A little pineapple juice goes in. This is seasoned rice vinegar. Let's put a little bit of that in there. And let's see, some toasted black sesame seeds.
You've got quite a variety
everything.
here.
Some fish sauce. And the last 2 things for this are going to be some grated fresh ginger. And this is black soy sauce, which you can see is a little bit thicker than the stuff you put on your sushi. It's got a higher molasses content, so it's a little bit sweeter. So it's really good.
And you let that cook down or just warm through?
It doesn't really have to reduce. You want to let it simmer for a minute or 2 to kind of meld all the flavors together. I said those were the last 2 things, but I lied to you because we got to squeeze these limes in there. I'll take you can squeeze in by hand, use a little citrus reamer, however you want to do it. I don't mind a little bit of pulp in mine. If you don't want it, you could do it over a strainer, but the limes don't have seeds anyway, so we'll squeeze that right in there.
So you could use this sauce on any type of fish, couldn't you?
Yeah, so we're making way more than we need, but it's never a bad thing to have around. So fish, you put it on chicken, put it on whatever you like. So we're gonna kind of turn that up a little bit, try to get that boiling, stir it up.
I can't wait to taste it. I mean, it's got so many different flavors in it that you're not sure what it's going to taste like.
It's very tasty. You are going to love it. All right, let's do this real quick while we wait for that to heat up. We're going to take this orange and juice it, but we're not going to put it in yet because we're actually going to thicken this with a cornstarch slurry. And this is what we're going to use instead of water for the slurry. We'll add the cornstarch to this.
This is another dish you'll be doing at the Seafood Grill.
We're going to do this one there too, yeah.
And the festival is the last weekend in September, the 29th, September 30th, and October 1st. And we'll have cooking demonstrations on that Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday for all of our chefs that are participating. So we hope you'll come on out and join us and maybe get to sample some of the dishes. It's going to be fun. This will be your first one to do.
Seafood Festival, or yeah?
The grill.
This Seafood Grill, yep. Yeah, we the restaurant we always do a little. Actually, we have our food truck set up out there for the Seafood Festival last year, and we will again this year.
Oh, it always draws a huge crowd.
Did not do the grill last year, so
and
I'm
the
looking forward to
chef demonstrations are very popular.
So we're going to take our tuna steaks and season them with some kosher salt or sea salt, just like a coarser salt. This is fresh cracked black pepper. I'm notoriously picky about my fresh cracked black pepper. I don't like the stuff you take out of a jar that's been sitting on the shelf for who knows how long. I like to crush it right there. The little crushed red pepper flake on there also. I always just kind of pat it in there to make sure that it sort of adheres to the fillet and you don't lose it all in the pan. I already salted this side, so we'll go ahead and throw pepper on this side too. Obviously, the red pepper is pretty spicy, so you don't want to go too crazy.
Cook tuna to your desired temperature, right? What you like.
Your desired temperature
like
should be rare to medium rare.
But you know.
Yeah, some people are weird about it being underdone, if you will. It's a very fatty fish, so the higher temperature you cook it, the more you're going to lose that moisture. It's going to get drier. We've all had canned tuna before, and once you kind of go to well done, you kind of know what texture you're going to be getting.
I have acquired a taste for rare tuna.
Oh yeah,
It took me a little while, but it certainly is better.
Yeah, I mean it's just so moist and it's really rich flavor.
Delicious.
I like mine rare to medium rare. I guess we'll just go right in here with this now. If you're doing this in a pan with oil like this, you always want to make sure you tilt the pan away from yourself, so if it splashes, it doesn't splash all over you. Lay it down in the pan.
But you could grill this too?
I usually do. I think at the Seafood Festival we'll probably do it over the open grill.
Right.
But searing it's really nice because you get the nice crust on the outside.
Oh yeah.
Let me wash the ears real quick.
That's good.
Go rare to medium rare. It's gonna be really quick, just a minute or two on each side. Get a nice hard sear on it. This is a pretty hot pan, so we'll get that nice crust on the outside. Now we're simmering over here, so we are good to go ahead and take our cornstarch to add to our little slurry. And about half a tablespoon. You can always go back and add more, but you can't take it out. So it's better to do a little bit less to start with. Flip our tuna steaks here.
And a slurry is just a mixture of cornstarch with some other liquid.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be cornstarch. You can do arrowroot, you can do flour slurries, any kind of something of that texture. But yeah, it's just, you do this at a cold...
Is it just to thicken it?
Just to thicken. You do this at a cold temperature because the heat is going to activate it. So if you try to just add straight cornstarch in there, you're going to have lumps.
You're going to get a mess.
Yeah, it's not going to be good. So mix that smooth while it's cold. And then we're just going to stir it right in the pot over here. And we need that to come to a simmer and simmer for about a minute. All this stuff out of the way.
Well, the tuna is looking great.
It's about ready to come off. It's very, very quick.
Yep. I mean, it takes very little time, doesn't it, to get it to rare. just see the edges.
Nice.
Kind of.
You can almost kind of watch when you do it in the pan. You can't see it with the camera, but you can almost kind of see the doneness in the middle there, where you want it to go. I'm probably going to go ahead and turn that pan off and get ready to take that out.
You've got our serving plate with the sides. Well, you've added some sides to the dish. You've got coleslaw and rice.
Yeah, that's a pineapple slaw with like a sweet lime vinaigrette dressing, and then just some sticky rice, actually our sushi rice from the restaurant, from the fish house. I think that this is kind of more of an appetizer, but it's nice to have a little something to go with it, just to kind of make it go a little farther.
Oh, look at that
almost
sauce.
Ready over here. Very close. So what we can go ahead and do, since these tuna steaks are off, we can go ahead and slice them, plate them up, and the sauce will be ready in just a minute. So we like to kind of do these thin, about a half an inch, maybe a little bit thinner. Just slicing it.
Makes such a pretty presentation.
A little bit of a bias. Take it, just kind of shingle it out over your sides, whatever you got going on over here.
Lovely.
Go ahead and cut this other one up too.
Really nice. We want to mention, of course, the Fish House has been around how long?
It should be at about the 20-year mark now. It's 97, 98. It's been a long
Didn't realize
time.
it's been that long, but it's part of course, the Great Southern Restaurant Group, where, gosh, they have several eating establishments here in Pensacola.
We do. We've got Fish House and Jackson's Steakhouse, Five Sisters Blues Cafe. We have some public event spaces too, like the Palafox House and the Lee House. It's like a boutique hotel. A lot of
And the
stuff going on.
Atlas.
It's busy. Atlas Oyster Bar.
Yep,
Yeah, so
right next to the Fish
ironic.
House.
How can I forget Atlas? Yeah, Atlas Oyster Bar was added a few years after the Fish House. It's cool. It's a little more kind of a more casual atmosphere than the Fish House, but a lot of the food is the same. The menus are very similar.
Yeah,
So
it's all good.
Fish House is kind of more the sit-down event destination type thing, and Atlas is more of a laid-back kind of experience.
How's the chili sauce?
Ready to go. So what we're going to do is cut it off. We've got fresh diced pineapple and some green onions over here. So this will just go straight in there like that.
Oh,
So you
okay.
get the flavor. It's going to cook in there a little bit because the sauce is so hot. But we don't want to. We want to keep the texture of it. We've got our scallions go in there too. Stir that all in.
And that's going to go right over the tuna.
Right over the tuna.
Spectacular dish.
Actually, if you wouldn't mind handing me a spoon, we'll go ahead and put it right over the tuna now. It's good cold, it's good room temperature, it's good hot. You really can't go wrong. So we're going to obviously go straight from the pot to the plate here, but we'll just take our sauce and go right over our tuna.
Jason, that looks so good.
Whole thing. Make sure we get some of our rice here too, because it's good.
Beautiful, look at that.
You want to put just a little something colorful on top. We got little microgreens here, but do whatever you like. Some scallions or parsley will make it look really nice.
Beautiful. Well, look, we've got our appetizer, we've got our main dish. We need a dessert. What do you think?
I think we might be able to whip up a key lime pie or something.
A key lime pie.
Something good,
Oh,
yeah.
you don't want to miss that. That's our final dish from the Fish House. Stay with us.
Natural gas homes are in demand. Here's what home builders have to say.
The natural gas cooking, as well as the fireplace and the atmosphere that you have on a really nice, well-designed lanai, you can entertain real well. It's very comfortable. People are real homey there, and we find the lanai to be a real design feature, along with having the natural gas to implement that.
Natural gas from Pensacola Energy, the clean, reliable, earth-friendly choice.
Heat pumps don't pump much heat. In fact, heat from an efficient natural gas heater can be 30% warmer, and you can get up to an $800 rebate when you install one. Warming up to natural gas yet? Learn more at PensacolaEnergy.com.
New home buyers prefer natural gas. Here's what local home builders have to say about natural gas homes.
Most people, ask for natural gas. They're looking for the hot water heater. They're looking for the cooking. They're looking for the convenience of the grill and never running out. And of course, the heat is much more comfortable on those cold winter days than electric heat.
Natural gas from Pensacola Energy, the clean, reliable, earth-friendly choice.
Natural gas dryers may cost a little more than electric ones, but they dry clothes quicker, making them cost half as much to run. So now who's getting taken to the cleaners? Learn more at PensacolaEnergy.com.
Natural gas is the clean, reliable, earth-friendly energy choice. Here's what Pensacola Energy customers have to say about using natural gas.
The tankless hot water heater is the biggest value that we've seen. Never running out of hot water is great. We had family in town over the holiday, and not one time do we ever run out of hot water.
Go blue and save green with natural gas from Pensacola Energy. Visit PensacolaEnergy.com and make the switch today.
Since we're short on time, Jason's going to give us the abbreviated version of his key lime pie.
Yep, a quick crash course on the key lime pie. So we do our key lime pie in a springform pan with a graham cracker crust. The crust is really simple. It's graham cracker crumbs, sugar, and melted butter. It's good to make it right before you make the pie so it's nice and warm and pliable, and you kind of just press it. You use a spoon, use your fingers, whatever, kind of press it in the pan, make sure it goes all the way up the sides. You don't have to use a springform pan. You can use a regular pie plate. We do them in baking dishes sometimes to cut little squares. The process is the same. It doesn't matter what vessel you use. So once your crust is in there, you throw it in the oven and par bake it for about 5 minutes at 350 degrees. It kind of helps set it. Any melted butter that might come out will go ahead and come out instead of making your pie all greasy. Then the ingredients of the pie: sweetened condensed milk, egg yolks, and key lime juice. We whip the egg yolks to like real thick ribbons. You'll see them kind of get pale yellow and they expand in volume. You're incorporating a lot of air. Then you go in with the sweetened condensed milk and mix it just till it's combined, and then the lime juice, and that's really all there is to it.
Easy.
After that, you'll take your mixture and just fill your pie shell with it. You want it to come almost all the way up to the top of the crust.
And you'll bake this at what temperature?
About 350, okay. And they really only take about 8 to 10 minutes. It's very quick, not very long at all. And the way you'll test it is it's going to rise up some. You'll see it doing that. And then just kind of, once it looks set, you jiggle the pan, it doesn't look all wobbly like that, and you can kind of just tap the center, and as long as it springs back almost like a muffin that's done baking, it's good to go.
Well, if our viewers would like to try this at home or any of these dishes today, you can call Pensacola Energy at 436-5050, or you can visit our website at coastalcooking.com. And Jason, look what you just baked up.
There you go.
Just for me.
Key lime pie, all yours.
I love it. I love it. Well, before we leave, tell everyone where the Fish House is located and your hours.
Fish House is 600 South Barrack Street. It's just off of Main Street, close to the 3 Mile Bridge. Our hours, we open at 11 a.m. every day. We're open for brunch on Sundays. Really kind of close until we do a late night menu on the weekends, but typically 10 or 11 o'clock every weeknight. So
7 days a week?
7 days a week.
Oh, wow. Okay, and your website?
It's fishhousepensacola.com.
Okay.
And all our information is there. There's links there to all the other great southern restaurants, to Atlas, Jackson's, all that. So if you ever need to know what's going on at the Fish House, it's all right there. Very convenient.
Best place to go. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
You
Thank
have done
Thanks
a fabulous job, and we hope everyone will come out and see you at the Seafood Grill.
Cool.
Last weekend in September. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
This has been Coastal Cooking with your host, Carmela Campbell. Coastal Cooking is brought to you by Pensacola Energy, provider of clean, efficient, natural gas. Join us each Sunday at 6 p.m. for more Coastal Cooking.